Hello, this is Heisenberg.
Hey there, this is G Forever.
Yes, and the SH MonsterArts Godzilla 1991 has been revealed.
Yes, first time ever from Tamashii Nations. And yeah, Godzilla 1991 from the movie Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah 1991 joins the Monster Arts line.
Yay, and we got these great official photos. Let's get to the comparisons here. So these are
Okay.
official photos from Tamashii Nations. On the left is the 1991, on the right is the 1989.
All right.
And at
Yep.
first glance, looking at these, I was wondering, are there any differences?
Yeah, it's hard to see at first glance. I was actually amazed. As soon as these photos popped up, I went to grab my 89 figure and put it right beside my phone. I couldn't see anything, but thanks to Heisenberg with the official photos from Tamashii Nations and having both figures side by side, we can see some differences. So let's start with the feet. So feet themselves look the same, but if you go up to the thigh area, I believe the 91 is a little thicker. You can kind of see the 89 has where the thigh meets the body. There's actually it's a two-piece item. I'm actually holding the 89 in my hands right now. And in the left photo with the 91, I think it's just one piece for the leg. What do you think, Heisenberg?
I see what you mean.
Yes,
So
yeah.
sort of like more around the hip where the leg meets the body.
Correct.
There's actually like two pieces there.
Yes.
And yeah, it only looks like there's only one piece visible on the
Mm-hmm.
91.
Yep. And if you go up, I think the lower body, like a little bit above the groin area, I think the sculpting is actually different. So again, you really need to put them side by side to see these differences, because at first glance, I wouldn't have noticed. It
Yeah, it looks
looks like,
slightly. Yeah, it's very similar, but it does look the bumps are a little different.
yeah, the bumps are more wavy, I think, whereas the 89 is more scaly.
Yeah, yeah. But then the
Upper
yeah, the
chest.
chest looks very similar.
Very similar, but potentially thicker.
I think the only
Yeah.
thing that looks like clearly different is the neck.
Neck. Yes, the
So on
neck.
the left, the 91 neck is much wider.
Yes.
And then, but otherwise, even the faces look very
Yeah,
similar.
the hand. Yeah, look at the hands. I think the left hand, also his right hand, our on our left. I think the finger might be wider on the 91 than because the 89, the claws are kind of more closed, like a closed. No, no, I mean not fully closed, but a
Mm,
little more closer to each other, like the
yeah,
fingers.
but let's also look at the profile. But
Yeah.
but one day we'll have them in our, we'll have them in our possession, so we can
Yep.
tell you even more. Now here, this actually looks kind of disappointing. So to me, like the side view, it really does. It's really hard to spot any difference at all.
Hmm. Yeah, usually the back fins give it away, but these look the same to me.
Yeah, yeah, the spikes, the back fins look like spot on, like identical, like every little
Curve, right?
curve to it. And so the paint, obviously the paint might be a little different. At least in these photos, the 89 looks darker.
Yeah.
It looks like a darker shade of darker shade of gray.
Yep.
Uh, but other than that, I don't really see. So we got an open mouth and a closed mouth, which makes it a little harder to compare.
Yep.
But they look. But yeah, it looks very identical. I think maybe the thigh,
Hmm.
like on the 91, maybe the thigh is a little thicker. Now
Yep.
it's a little hard to tell here because the way the 89 is lighted, lit in this.
Yeah, surprisingly, the head on the 91 doesn't look that much different. To be honest, like in the actual suit, you can tell the way to tell the difference is usually the head and the like I call it the crest, but like above his kind of like the top of his head. The 91 was more pointy, whereas the 89 was more like smooth. So I think you can see the differences on the X Plus, the XG Plus minifigure, and even the Bandai Movie Monster Series 91. You can see the kind of like that cone head, like almost like like a mini cone head, whereas this Monster Arts doesn't have that.
But yeah, I think you're right. It's like well, that one architectural difference I think is you can see here too that on the
Yes.
89 where the leg meets the body, there's actually like two pieces,
Correct.
like two cuts there.
Yep.
And on the 91, it just looks like
One
one
piece.
cut.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
worried because usually when they do that, there's a huge gap and you can see right through the figure, which happened in a lot of the recent Monster Arts.
Yeah, but otherwise, especially from this angle, they're looking very similar.
Yeah,
I
the
think
thigh is
again, the upper
bigger.
thigh,
Yeah.
yeah, in the 91, the upper thigh looks thicker. Sticking his finger up higher in the air
Yes. Yeah.
is like his pointing finger is like,
Yep.
yes, yeah, the position of the fingers are a little different.
Yep.
Here's like the head and upper body.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, I can. Yeah, it's very hard to spot the differences. And I think one difference I see are the eyes. The 89 is just kind of like the brown iris and then the black pupil. Whereas the 91, it looks like it has, I'm guessing it's brown and then like I'm guessing it's a yellow and then the black pupil. So if memory serves me right, I think that that yellow part didn't appear until 1992. So my guess is they're just trying to do something different to differentiate the two figures. But for movie accuracy, I think that might be off.
But
Yeah.
then otherwise, yeah, it's looking pretty yeah, pretty darn similar.
Yes, too similar. I'm curious why they did 91. I'm the only thing I can think of is because they just recently reissued Mecha King Ghidorah. But he looks great. Yeah, 1991 is one of my favorite designs from the Heisei era. And yeah, he looks like a good yeah, it looks pretty accurate to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they're calling this the Shinjuku Decisive Battle, this
Yes.
figure.
Shinjuku is the yeah, Shinjuku Decisive Battle, which is pretty much the final scene in the 1991 movie, where he fights Mecha King Ghidorah in the daylight.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, and
And th
Shinjuku is in the dead center of Tokyo, which currently is the home for the Godzilla Hotel. So you can see Godzilla in the center of Shinjuku.
oh, excellent. And it's expected out September 2023, at least in Japan. So usually it takes another month or two to reach the United States. And it's selling, at least in Japan, for about $74, which
No.
sounds like a great price these
Yeah,
days.
that's pretty good for a Monster Arts figure because yeah, everything has gone up in price. So if it's $74, if it's the same price in the US, I think that's a great bargain. And as much as I love Heisei Godzilla, I think Tamashii Nations and for their Monster Arts line, they really need to change the variety. We don't have a suit Godzilla 1999 or Godzilla 2000, which would be nice to have. We don't have a Tokyo SOS with the scar, and we definitely are missing out on a ton of Showa versions. So they keep pumping out the very similar Heisei Godzillas from. So they started off with the 94, then they had the burning Godzilla, and then they had the non-burning version. They called it the Rebirth. So 1995, and then they then made the 89, which is similar to the previous two, and then now they're doing a 91. So
Right, right. So yeah. They seem to be kind of, it does seem like a kind of a narrow focus.
yes, yeah. It's almost I remember reading somewhere that the people running the Monster Arts line are fans of the Heisei series, so that could be why that they're kind of stay stuck in the Heisei mode. I
Yeah,
do love Heisei, but we need some variety.
quite a contrast, for example, to what Super Seven's doing.
Yes.
I recommend. I think people are not paying enough attention to Super Seven. Recommend
Hmm.
like seeing what they're up to because
Yep.
they've got quite a nice wide variety of
Yeah, they're interestingly enough, they actually are more for the Showa stuff, for the reaction figures, but for their ultimates, they're doing the Heisei era. So it's a good variety, definitely at Super 7.
cool. All right. Well, again, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're gonna, as we learn more, we'll share the news. And yeah, so we got two movies and a TV show to look
Yeah.
forward to. And so
Yes.
we're also watching for that news. And and we'll report on that as well.
Yep. And we hope to see some toy news from Godzilla X Kong, the new Empire. See if there's anything from Playmates or
Yeah, and
Monster Arts. Yeah.
we got more to share with you from Haya too pretty soon. So
Yes.
stay
Yep.
tuned for that.
And yeah, it'll be exciting. I think you really want to, stay tuned for that.
Oh yes, absolutely. All right, this is Heisenberg.
And G Forever, hoping you enjoy the SH Monster Arts Godzilla 1991.